please check out the description. Or that description, actually. Because there's a lot of free things that you can get. First of all, there is the link to the podcast, because this is actually a podcast and a YouTube quote-unquote show. On the other hand, you're also going to get 3 things, as I said. For example, the free PDFs of the things that I've highlighted in this episode or in other episodes. If I've highlighted something, then it is going to be in a tiny PDF. You can download it and print it and share it and do whatever with it. And there is everything in this that I've gone through in this episode, which is pretty amazing, because some people like to listen, therefore we're having a podcast. Some people like to watch, therefore we're having the YouTube videos. And some other people like to read things. And this is why there's also the free PDF. And there's as well some music. So if you do want to have some background music in this video, then please also check out the 3rd link, or it's actually, I think, the 4th link, but 3rd section, something like that. And there's also just different tracks to choose from. And they're all, I think, an hour long. So you should be fine. Everything should be fine. Should be good to go. And yeah, enjoy the episode, and I'm going to see you. So this one's going to be again about some food facts. It's hopefully going to be some cool food facts and not such fucking disgusting ones, as this one is. The red food dye used in Skittles is made from boiled beetles. Fuck you, I cannot even eat any Skittles anymore. Even if I haven't just in like 3 years or something. Probably, I don't fucking know. But yeah, there's gonna be more after the intro as always. And I'm looking forward to it. I really am. Fuck Skittles, man. Really fuck Skittles. And all the other just bullshit. Like, we don't need it. Really don't just need it. But yeah, with that being said, hello, welcome back to the next episode of the Self-Development with Tactics podcast. And I'm really incredibly happy to be here and incredibly happy to talk about whatever I'm gonna talk about today, because this is actually a really interesting article. And second of all, also a pretty cool one. In the last episode, because I've already edited it, I've seen that I've just sometimes been referring to wrong things, and I then have to cut them out and just add the real things and stuff, and I shouldn't be doing that. So whatever I'm saying, I don't know if it is right. So whatever it is going to be, even if I just talk about myself and about my opinion, I don't know what my opinion, no, just joking. The next one, raw oysters are still alive when you eat them. Raw oysters are still alive when you eat them. I kind of have to say, like, yes, it somehow makes sense because they are raw. But on the other hand, it means like, okay, they're just able to live on top of the water or above the water, just in the air with oxygen for quite some time, I'd say. Chances are raw oysters are still alive when you eat them. Oysters deteriorate so fast that chefs have to serve them very quickly while they're still alive, basically. Some varieties of the shellfish can survive out of the water for up to 2 weeks, which is why oysters are stored under particularly regulated condition. Once they die, they are no longer safe to eat. I see. So yes, if you have a nice plate of fresh oysters, you're probably chewing on them while they're still alive. Luckily, oysters don't have central nervous system, so they can't feel pain, which is then actually a pretty interesting creature, isn't it? Because not able to feel anything, you're probably also not thinking that much, I guess. I'm not quite sure about that, but yeah, interesting being. Literally interesting being. What the fuck is going on today? Every banana you eat is a clone. The more I know, I'm not gonna eat any bananas. I am gonna eat bananas because bananas are fucking amazing. In terms of like taste, it's one of the only really sweet things that I can eat besides dates and all the other dried fruits. I really love dried fruits, but I don't really believe that it is like the best for your body and also for your digestion system, I guess, especially if you're having a fructose intolerance like I'm having. I think this, can really fuck with one. As far as I've also seen that and recognized that and experienced that, like always having diarrhea and sometimes, not always, quite often. Let's put it like this. Even though, there are 1,000 varieties of bananas all over the world, the common yellow fruit you see in the supermarket are all genetic clones of the Cavendish variety. The Cavendish was mass-produced according to The Economist because it does not have seeds. They used to have seeds, or they are having seeds still. A desirable trait for consumers, and it survives longer than its banana cousins. Since the Cavendish does not have any seeds, it must be cloned by farmers in order to continue production. Recently, agricultural scientists have been worried that the lack of genetic diversity could soon leave the banana vulnerable to threats and extinction. I didn't know about that, but I wonder how they're tasting if there was any seeds in them. either they're just really shitty, because most often the case is, unless they're really small ones, seeds are just bitter and not really good, really shitty. I mean, if I'm eating an apple, I'm probably eating, or mostly eating, the whole one, because I do not want to throw away shit, because I feel like, well, I can eat it, so I am gonna eat it. It's not that tasty always, but I also just don't have to have a trash can nearby or something, and I can then just chew on the stick, on the stock. I don't know, but yeah, it's not what I do. But I really wonder what they're just. So maybe they're having some banana with seeds, and they actually look a little bit ugly. I assume that this is a banana. It looks like a banana, and it is having a lot of fucking seeds, and it is pretty disgusting. I think though this is a good one. I mean, if all the black things, it really looks not good. But I think it is maybe just only based on like us knowing that a banana is quote unquote supposed to look like this, but yeah. But I wonder, I mean, like, there is not a lot of fruit there, really not. There's just mostly like fucking seeds. And I also wonder, because of that, if bananas are actually relatively unhealthy, since they are not just supposed to look like this, and they also don't look like this. So yeah. And this is a really good example, because it looks like a banana, but it does not. There we can see it actually really easily. Wow. Bananas had seeds. Lipstick Alley. I mean, I think, I have to say it's mostly seeds. And I think it makes sense that they also decided to just get rid of them. However they did that, but I don't know. I mean, it's only seeds. Like, it literally is only fucking seeds. Like, if I would be eating this shit, even though I think it just tastes quite just as the quote-unquote original one or the cloned one, unless the seeds are actually tasty, I don't know, then I wouldn't just really give a shit about it. If it is actually like with the pomegranates, you know what I mean? Where you're actually eating the seeds, then I really don't give a fuck about that. But I kind of don't really look like a tasty thing. By the way, I also wonder how they did that. Just, okay, let's just get rid of the fucking seeds that are in this fucking banana. I don't know, man. I don't know. But let's see. In fact, bananas are technically berries, and strawberries are not. Confused yet? Bananas, along with cucumbers and kiwis, are classed as berries, whereas strawberries, blackberries, and raspberries are not. To be considered a berry in the botanical sense, the fruit must come from one flower with one ovary and typically have several seeds. Yes, bananas had several seeds, like only seeds. Stanford Magazine explains, raspberries, strawberries, and blackberries don't count because they come from a single flower with more than one ovary. I see, but they're still quite tasty. I don't know health-wise if they're that nice and that good. But yeah, before being domesticated, chickens only produced about a dozen eggs a year. Now they can produce hundreds. The most prolific egg-laying chicken was in Missouri in 1979. The chicken laid 371 eggs in 1 year, according to Guinness World Records, which is more than one a day. Which is also not that much, to be honest. Quite. I mean, okay. Yeah, never mind. The Aztecs used chocolate as currency. The Aztecs may be known for their love of chocolate, but according to the International Cacao Organization, they also used cacao beans as currency. People under Aztec rule could use cacao to pay their taxes. But I have to say, like, everything that is kind of rare everything that's kind of rare is just probably and or possibly able to be used as a currency. If water was really rare, then we would also be just trading with fucking water. Quite. I know, of course, nowadays we're having money and but still, gold. As far as I know, and I've been talking to one of my buddies, shout out to you, and he said that on Mars, I hope that I'm remembering this correctly, on Mars there's a lot of gold, which means that if we once get to Mars, then our whole gold thing is just worth nothing quite, because we have a lot of gold. At this point in time, we're not having that much gold, and this is why it is a rare thing, and this is also why it is a pricey thing, as well as diamonds and stuff. If everything would be made out of diamond as we're just doing it with wood, then it would kind of the opposite. Wood is expensive and wood is precious, but diamond is like, just, I don't give a shit, I'm gonna throw it away or stuff. Honey will never ever go bad. That's a funny thing. Honey in its natural state is very low in moisture and very acidic. Two primary defense against food spoilage. In a low moisture and high acid environment like a sealed jar, bacteria will die almost immediately, according to the Honey and Pollination Center at the Robert Mondavi Institute at the University of California. This could explain why archaeologists have found pots of honey from thousands of years ago that still looked fresh. I wonder if somebody tried to taste it. It is a myth, however, that honey is the only food that will last forever. Salt, sugar, and raw rice also have shelf lives. I didn't know about rice, I know, but I think once it kind of just is a little bit moisturized, once it is in an environment where there's a little bit of high just air moisture, air humidity, then it's not good. Then it is fucked. Carrots were originally purple, and I just also would have liked them to stay that. I think they look kind of sweet, kind of cool, kind of different. According to the National Carrot Museum in the UK, the first carrots looked nothing like they do today. Originally, these vegetables were purple or white with a thin root. The orange carrots we know and eat today are actually the result of genetic mutation in the late 1600th century that won out over the original color. I do wonder what they thought about. Let's just make them orange. Looks better. Looks cool. Let's just do it like this. Maybe this is one of the reasons why there's so many foods that we actually shouldn't be eating, because most of the shitty thing that we are eating is like just genetically modified and stuff. Most wasabi is actually just dyed horseradish. Good. If you have a habit of smearing spicy wasabi all over your California roll, just know that you are in all likelihood just eating dyed horseradish. About 99% of all wasabi sold in the United States is fake. And you have to go to a very high-end sushi restaurant in Japan to find the real stuff. Wasabi costs $80 a pound, so it's more cost effective for restaurants to just use an imitation instead. And nobody knows about it anyway, so why the fuck should I give a fuck if I'm having a restaurant? Unless I'm just some really high quality and whatever restaurant, then I'm probably gonna have the real one. People once thought tomatoes were poisonous. In the 18th century Europe, the tomato was nicknamed the poison apple because aristocrats would oftentimes get sick and die after eating them. Little did they know that the explanation had to do with their choice of tableware and not the tomatoes. According to the historical cookbook Heirloom Flavor, yesterday's best tasting vegetables, fruits and herbs for today's cook, the high acidity of tomatoes would lead to leach from the pewter plates used by rich aristocrats and caused lead poisoning. The aristocrats misattributed the issue to the tomato itself. Motherfuckers. Grapes will explode if you put them in the microwave. I would like to try it out. Here's a fun and dangerous science experiment. If you split a grape almost in half and put it in the microwave, it will create an explosive fireball of plasma and lighting. Why? Scientists have explained that microwaves work by using microwave radiation to generate heat. Yes, if you heat up nothing in a microwave, or in this case a very small grape that doesn't absorb enough power, the electromagnetic waves have nothing to work on and become concentrated. The grape itself then acts like an antenna, conducts the electricity in the microwave, causing small plasma fireballs. Interesting. Crackers will give you cavities faster than candy. The phrase candy will rot your teeth has probably been drilled into our head since you were a kid. I've actually never heard that. I didn't even know that it is a phrase. I've just known about it, of course, but I've never ever known it as a phrase. But there are many foods out there that are worse for your dental hygiene than candy, like crackers. That's because acid and not sugar is the major cause of tooth decay. Ever notice how saltine crackers or goldfish became sticky in your mouth as you're chewing them? Yes, Dr. Mark Byrne of blah 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 said, even better for the bacteria that sticky gets stuck between your teeth and the bacteria can feast for even longer. Which is amazing then. Let's just get diarrhea. It's not about diarrhea, I know, but I think it just sounds funnier then. Anyway, eating too much nutmeg has the effect of a hallucinogenic drug. Nutmeg may be perfect addition to your hot beverage, but don't sprinkle on too much. Eating too much nutmeg, I think it can also just kill you, kinda. Can have the physical effect of hallucinogenic drug, including out-of-body sensations, nausea, dizziness, and sluggish brain activity. Sluggish brain activity. But according to the New York Times, it takes a lot of nutmeg, more than 2 tablespoons to start feeling the spiciest drug-like effect, so there's no need to worry too much. 2 tablespoons. I mean, I think this might be like just 2 entire nuts or something. Could this be the case? I don't know. I don't know. Chicken wings were considered throwaway parts before buffalo wings were invented. How much is... Oh, I can read it. It is fine if I read it. It's hard to mention today, but before buffalo wings were invented in Buffalo, New York City, Anchor bar owner Teresa Bellissimo, chicken wings were usually thrown away with the rest of a chicken's gristle and bones. Either that or they were used to make stock. Yeah. As the story goes, in 1964, Bellissimo was looking to whip up a midnight snack for the college-aged son. Since she had recently received an accidental wholesale order of chicken wings, she decided to deep fry them and then slaughter them in butter and hot sauce, serving what would later become an iconic bar snack. At least just at my place, it's not really iconic. I think if you're just getting it in a bar, then it would rather be something that's extraordinary or something that you wouldn't expect. Quite. Chili peppers contain a chemical that tricks your mouth into thinking it is being burned. That's why spicy food hurts so much. The burning sensation you get when you eat spicy peppers is a mental reaction and not a physical one. But the mental reaction gets to a physical one because I think that you get red and stuff and shit, which is pretty interesting. Chili peppers contain a chemical known as capsaicin. I only know that's capsaicin. Might be also the same in English, I don't know, which naturally binds to the pain receptors of our nerves. Our brain thinks you are ingesting something hot, so you begin sweating and your face turns red. This is your body's way of treating to cool you down, even though there is no real temperature threat, only a perceived one. I think also knowing that would actually make it better, because maybe you could actually die because of too hot eating. Actually, really maybe. But yeah. Processed cheese was invented in Switzerland and not in America. We may think of processed cheese as an American invention, think Kraft and Jesuits, but it turns out the Swiss came up with the idea first. Walter Gerber and Fritz Stettler invented processed cheese in Switzerland in 1911 in order to improve its shelf life before it was shipped overseas, according to the Michigan Dairy Review. And that's it with this article. I do wonder if I've been referring to the question of today. If not, then here we go. The question of today is, do you eat processed food? And if you do so, don't do it. So, this was the question of today. Let's actually take it as the question of today. So, please don't eat any processed food. So ask yourself, are you eating a lot of processed food? If you don't know what processed food is, Google it, or just, basically everything that is somehow in some way processed. Flour, for example, it originally is the grain itself, Fruits are not, because you just pick them from the tree or somewhere else, and that's quite it. Anything else, like any sauces, they are processed. Then meat, kind of as well. I mean, I think ground meat, so ground beef and shit, I think this is counted as processed, but lightly processed. Like there's also different degrees of processing, as far as I know, and seen and heard and stuff. But yeah, anyway, I wish you the best health, happiness, and also success, and also hope that you're going to remind yourself and you're going to be remembered. This basically means your legacy, and basically means just being a nice person and being remembered as a nice person, because I think that you're amazing, But yeah, 3 other questions that I have here are, why are you here, what are you trying to change, and what is bothering you the most, motherfucker, And hopefully gonna see you the next time. Bye, and like really, really, really from the bottom of my heart, thank you for being with me. Thank you for watching this episode, even for 1 second. Like, I don't give a fuck. Please watch the whole one, though, the next time as well. Because if you see this, you've probably either skipped just the entire episode or accidentally clicked to just the end of it. Or you effectively and actively watch the whole one. And if you're doing this, like, thank you very much. I appreciate that. I really, really, really amazingly do. But yeah, with that being said, and another relatively long episode that I am having to edit tomorrow. Thank you, myself. Yeah, gonna see you the next time. Bye, and thank you.